Here are the top stories for today, January 3. Restrictions are in place as the National Capital Region reverts to Alert Level 3. Metro Manila mayors have agreed to prohibit unvaccinated individuals from going out. The government is working double time to finish Marawi rehabilitation in time for President Duterte stepping down. And the Armed Forces of the Philippines vows to keep this year's national elections peaceful. Good day, I am William Theo. Welcome to the PNA Newsroom. Starting today, Metro Manila is under Alert Level 3 following a spike in COVID-19 infections. This also includes the detection of a number of highly transmissible Omicron variant. Alert Level 3 is imposed until January 15. Under Alert Level 3, intrazonal and interzonal movement are still allowed, subject to restrictions imposed by the local government units. Also allowed are venues for meetings, incentives, conferences, and exhibitions, permitted venues for social events, visitor or tourist attractions, amusement parks or theme parks, recreational venues, cinemas and movie houses, limited face-to-face or in-person classes for higher education and for technical vocational education and training, in-person religious gatherings and gatherings for necrological services for those who died of causes other than COVID-19, licensure or entrance qualifying examinations authorized by the IATF, dine-in services subject to DTI sector-specific protocols, personal care establishments such as barber shops, hair spas, nail salons and nail spas, and other similar procedures, fitness studios, gyms and venues for non-contact exercise and sports, and film, music, and TV production. Meanwhile, face-to-face or in-person classes for basic education are not allowed under the Alert Level 3, as well as contact sports, fun fairs, carnivals, and kid amusement industries like playgrounds, playroom and kiddie rides, venues with live voice or wind instrument performers and audiences, casinos, horse racing, cockfighting and operation of cockpits, lottery and betting shops, and gatherings in residences with individuals not belonging to the same household. Meanwhile, the Department of Transportation maintains its 70% passenger capacity in all rail lines. DOTR Secretary Arthur Tugade also ordered the regular disinfection of trains, platforms, stations, and depots, and all rail personnel are required to undergo antigen testing pursuant to prevailing protocols of the Department of Health or DOH. Metro Manila mayors have agreed in principle to implement the drastic measure against unvaccinated individuals to contain the spread of COVID-19. MMDA Chairman Ben-Hur Abalos announced that under Alert Level 3, all unvaccinated individuals will not be allowed in restaurants, malls, and public transportation except for essential needs. 7 close contacts of Gwyneth Ann Chua, the woman who skipped the mandatory quarantine procedure, tested positive for COVID-19. DILG spokesperson Jonathan Malaya says one of her secondary contacts also caught the virus.
Doon po sa kanyang close contacts na 15, 7 na po ang nagpositibo ng COVID-19, while doon naman po sa 19 secondary contacts niya ay isa na po ang nagpositibo. So talaga pong naging super spreader event yung paglabas-pasok nitong ni Poblacion Girl sa kanyang quarantine hotel. And lumalabas po sa initial na investigasyon ng PNP-CIDG na may kinalaman po ang hotel sa kanyang paglabas at pagpasok dahil noong December 22, dumating po siya 11:23 from the airport. Dumating po siya sa Berjaya at that time. Ngunit hindi po siya nagtagal doon, Yusek, no? He was just there for less than 30 minutes at 11:42 ay kaagad-agad siyang umalis at umuwi sa kanyang bahay.
Meanwhile, Malaya says the Philippine National Police has been ordered to ensure that quarantine hotels will be strictly monitored.
Nagbigay po ng direktiba si Secretary Eduardo Anyo na magkaroon ng random visit ang ating kapulisan sa iba't ibang mga business establishment para po siguruhin na susunod itong IATF regulations na ito. And nagbigay rin po ng direktiba si Secretary Anyo na sa PNP to enforce strictly yung granular lockdowns, no, na parte po ng alert level system natin. At siya po ay nagbigay din ng direktiba na bisitahin or magkaroon ng random visit sa iba't ibang mga quarantine hotels sa buong bansa ang PNP. Meron po tayong mga 6 to 8 hotels dito sa Metro Manila na para sa mga positive na returning overseas Filipinos and OFWs, at meron naman pong around 150 na DOT accredited hotels. At gusto po ni Secretary Anyo na ito ay bisitahin ng ating kapulisan at i-check kung nandun ba talaga yung mga taong nakasalistahan na still under quarantine at hindi pa lumalabas ang kanilang resulta ng RT-PCR para po masiguro na wala na pong yung para mapigilan yung sinasabing modus na absentee quarantine.
Moreover, the Department of the Interior and local government urges local government units to strengthen the implementation of minimum public health standards and to ramp up vaccination, including boosters, to avert community transmission of the Omicron variant. DILG Secretary Eduardo Año said vaccination, including boosters, is essential for added protection against Omicron and new coronavirus variants. The Philippines has detected at least 14 confirmed Omicron cases. The LGUs are also urged to practice active case finding through the use of their contact tracers, immediately impose granular lockdowns, and enforce allowable capacities of business establishments under the current alert level. Año also recommends house-to-house vaccination for the A2 and A3 priority groups. DILG Secretary Eduardo Año says cases will be filed against Gwyneth Chua, the woman who prematurely left her hotel quarantine facility in Makati City to party. He says Chua, who came from Los Angeles, California, will be held liable for violating the state-mandated health protocols. Moreover, the DILG also ordered the Philippine National Police to inspect hotel facilities and make an accounting of persons under quarantine. For its part, the management of Berjaya Hotel admitted its fault and vowed it will be dealt with severely to avoid a repeat of the incident. The Makati City 3-star hotel assured it is fully cooperating with the investigation and will impose severe sanctions on involved employees. In a statement, Berjaya Makati Hotel said it failed to stop a returning Filipino from leaving its facility to attend a party at a nearby establishment. COVID-19 booster shots are now being administered in Zamboanga City. Meanwhile, Baguio City is making life easier with the launching of COVID-19 self-test kits. The details from Marita Mawahe.
In Zamboanga City, the City Health Office has started administering booster shots to medical frontliners and senior citizens. The DOH has approved the administration of COVID-19 booster shots as early as 3 months after the second dose for individuals that completed their AstraZeneca, Moderna, Pfizer, Sinovac, or Sputnik jobs, and as early as 2 months for those that received the single-dose Janssen vaccine. In Baguio City, an easy-to-use COVID-19 home testing kit will be launched soon to allow residents to check on their condition whenever they need to. Mayor Benjamin Magalong Jr. is batting for the use of antigen self-test kits to further speed up detection and management of COVID-19 cases in a safe way so that residents won't have to go to health facilities. City Information Office Chief Aileen Refuerzo said the launch will be held within the week. For the PNA Newsroom, I am Marita Moahe.
Still ahead, the government is working double time to finish Marawi rehabilitation in time for President Duterte stepping down. And the Armed Forces of the Philippines vows to keep this year's national elections peaceful. Details ahead. Keep it here on the PNA Newsroom. Malacanang thanked Congress for the passage of the General Appropriations Act of 2022 and Republic Act number 11641, or the Department of Migrant Workers Act. Acting presidential spokesperson and Cabinet Secretary Carlo Nograles quoted President Rodrigo Duterte, who said that the passage of the 2022 budget reflects the healthy collaboration among all branches of the government in attaining its development goals. The cabinet official likewise underscored the signing of Republic Act number 11641, which creates the Department of Migrant Workers, the primary agency that will protect the rights and advance the cause of overseas Filipino workers. At the same briefing, Nograles thanked the public for its continued support of President Duterte, who recently obtained a 72% approval rating in the Pulse Asia survey conducted from December 1 to 6. The cabinet official assured the public that the president and his cabinet will continue to work hard with the interest and the welfare of the Filipino people foremost in his mind. Task Force Bangon Marawi vows to see that it has at least 95% of Marawi City's recovery projects from the 2017 siege will be completed by June before President Rodrigo Duterte steps down. TFBM Chief Secretary Eduardo Del Rosario said 2021 has been a fruitful year for the agency, the local government, and Maranaos, who are now enjoying the initial fruits of the rehabilitation. Del Rosario said they expect that by January 2022, up to 1,000 can already start the construction or repair of their houses. Despite challenges such as inclement weather and the COVID-19 pandemic, TFBM projects passed are within the timeline. These include the construction and rehabilitation of 3 major bridges, more than 20 kilometers of trans-central roads, 6 village complexes with a health center and madrasa, and the iconic Grand Mosque. Back in October 2021, President Duterte commended the TFBM for its unwavering commitment to bring back the glory of the Islamic city. The Office of the Presidential Advisor on the Peace Process, or OPAP, is changing its name but not its mission to pursue just and lasting peace. President Rodrigo Duterte signed an executive order reorganizing and renaming the OPAP to the Office of the Presidential Advisor on Peace, Reconciliation and Unity, or OPAPRU. In a statement, Secretary Carlito Galvez Jr. said the newly reorganized OPAPRU is more eager to sustain the gains of the national government to pushing forward the comprehensive peace process over the years. Galvez said they will maximize the power of convergence to effectively communicate the message of peace across society, as well as rally the support of all sectors who heal the wounds caused by armed conflict and foster genuine peace, reconciliation, and unity. EO number 158, signed on December 27, guides the policy framework on peace, reconciliation, and unity with 3 principles, namely conflict-sensitive and peace-promoting, whole of society, and empowering. The military remains focused on ending the communist terrorist threat and ensuring peaceful elections this 2022. Armed Forces of the Philippines Chief of Staff General Andres Centino urged military personnel to take on the challenges of the new year amid the pandemic. Centino earlier rallied military elite units to intensify their operations to put an end to the decades-long communist insurgency. He noted that unlike in the past, the intensified operations to end local communist armed conflict has gained steam onward to 2022, also the year President Rodrigo Duterte steps down from office. Among the military significant gains include intensified patrols in disputed territorial waters, continuous modernization, intensive organizational transformation and humanitarian assistance, and disaster relief operations, all this done while battling COVID-19 in the front lines. Up next, The country welcomes the new year with lesser fireworks-related injuries. And let us take a look at this year's Parade of Planets and the largest sun. More stories when the PNA Newsroom returns.
Kung customer ka, pupuntahan mo ba yung mukhang safe naman o yung certified na safe? Ang safety seal ay patunay na certified safe ang iyong business dahil nasusunod ang minimum public health standards. Meron din itong QR code para mapadali ang contact tracing. Ito ay libre lang. Pero, kailangang i-renew every 6 months or every year kung nasa tourism sector ang iyong business. Kung meron ka ng mga documents na ito, pwede ka na mag-apply para sa Safety Seal Certification. May iba-ibang office para sa iba't ibang klase ng mga negosyo. Pag na-determine nyo na ang issuing authority, simple lang ang steps para makuha ang safety seal. Pumunta sa office ng issuing authority o sa kanilang website. Kumuha ng safety seal checklist at magsagawa ng self-assessment para sa iyong business. I-submit ang checklist at abangan ang inspection schedule. Pag na-approve ang application, bibigyan kayo ng safety seal sticker. Pag hindi naman na-approve, sasabihin kung anong health standard ang hindi nasunod at bibigyan kayo ng pagkakataong ayusin ito. Pag nakuha na ang safety seal, ipaskil ito sa may entrance para makita agad ng mga customer. Pwede nyo rin ipagmalaki na certified safe kayo sa inyong mga social media pages. Paalala lamang, ang isang safety seal ay para sa isang branch lang. Siguraduhin bawat branch mo ay certified safe. Siguraduhin din na nasusunod palagi ang minimum public health standards dahil baka mabawi ang iyong certification. Maaring mag-operate kahit na walang safety seal. Pero hindi ba mas mahalagang kampante ang mga customer sa loob ng iyong negosyo? Kaya kumuha na ng safety seal para ingat-angat tayong lahat.
Filipinos welcomed the 2022 Safer this year as the Department of Health reported only 85 fireworks-related injuries as of Saturday, January 1. The DOH said this is 11% lower than the 2021 tally of 96 and 75% lower than the average 336 injuries in the last 5 years. 36% of the injuries are at the National Capital Region, followed by Western Visayas at 15% and Ilocos Region at 13%. Cases due to illegal fireworks are at 38%, particularly boga or bamboo cannon, followed by 5-star and piccolo. Meanwhile, the Philippine National Police or PNP is investigating 4 stray bullet cases in Ilocos Region, Calabarzon, Northern Mindanao, and Cordillera Administrative Region. PNP Chief General Leonardo Carlos, however, said these are isolated cases. The PNP is building up cases against arrested gun holders involved in 17 incidents of illegal discharge of firearms. Carlos said regulations on the use of firecrackers greatly contributed to a safer revelry to welcome 2022. The Philippine Statistics Authority ended 2021 with a PhilSys national ID registration at the Parole and Probation Office in Tagum City, Davao del Norte. Employees, clients, and their families participated in the registration held and organized by the PSA Davao Regional Office on December 27 and 28. The institutional registration strategy aims to ensure that the working population have a safe and convenient PhilSys registration. And still in Davao, the 5 to 17 years old age group are urged to register for the PhilSys only at the PSA office in Davao City and not in malls for their safety. In a post last December 17, the PSA PhilSys 11 regional office reminded minors to bring a guardian or parent with them along with one valid identification card or a document stating the full name, birth date, and address. More than 50 million Filipinos have finished the demographic and biometrics registration process that will enable them to get their Philippine identification cards. Stargazers are greeting 2022 with the start of the greatest activity of the quadranted meteor shower, as well as the New Year's parade of planets and the largest sun in view. The quadranted stream is going to reach its peak in the early hours of January 4, with up to 120 meteors per hour appearing in the sky. Also on January 4, the Earth will pass perihelion, the point of the orbit that is nearest to the Sun, making it appear largest. Furthermore, from January 4 to 5, the crescent of the young moon is going to join the planets visible in the sky. Astronomy lovers may also still catch up with Comet Leonard as it flies within 92 million kilometers from the Sun. After that, the comet will leave the solar system. As we welcome 2022, it feels good to reminisce moments that have brought us laughter and also remember hard times that taught us to always be better. Rain or shine, even in the middle of the pandemic and in witnessing moments of history unfold, the Philippine News Agency is with you as we make sure to deliver timely and reliable news and information to guide you in all aspects of your life. And for staying with us through thick and thin, our hearts are filled with gratitude. Every day is a gift. That is why it is called the present. For having served you on every present when a piece of history unfolds, every story crafted means time well spent. From trials and adversities that challenged our grit, to triumphs and achievements that uplifted our spirit. With your trust in upholding fair and truthful reportage, we continue to stay committed.
2021 saw another year of people accepting fundamental alterations to life, in which unprecedented uncertainties have challenged standards of living, emotional and work circumstances. Amid the challenges, given that the media's role is to give out a complete picture, the Philippine News Agency turns this crisis into something transformative through stories of survival and happiness and resilience, stories that inspire and aspire. As we enter another year and the pandemic seems to be still far from over, we will push to maximize our potential as a credible and reliable government media agency that shall fuel Filipinos' resilience and motivation. This means going beyond the health aspect of the pandemic by connecting the dots to paint a more accurate picture. Beyond our primary role as government media, we are healers and hope givers by being purposeful storytellers beyond the basic reportage. PNA will always be around for our next purposeful stories.
For staying with us all the way, though we are apart from each other. For joining us in hoping that every tomorrow will be better. For giving us the chance to help in making decisions smarter, we say,
Thank you.
Thank you.
Thank you. Thank you.
Thank you.
Thank you.
Thank you.
Thank you.
Thank you.
Thank you.
Thank you.
Thank you.
Thank you.
Thank you.
Thank you.
Thank you. Thank you.
Thank you. Thank you.
Stories that inspire change. Thank you for trusting the Philippine News Agency, and Happy New Year and a fruitful 2022 to everyone.
yesterday is history and tomorrow remains a mystery. The days, the nights might be long, but with unity, faith, and courage, we will always rise up strong. Let's take another look at today's biggest stories. Restrictions are in place as the National Capital Region reverts to Alert Level 3. Metro Manila mayors have agreed to prohibit unvaccinated individuals from going out. The government is working double time to finish Marawi rehabilitation in time for President Duterte stepping down. And the Armed Forces of the Philippines vows to keep this year's national elections peaceful. As Filipinos, we all have a vital role to play in preventing the spread of COVID-19. So remember, wear your face masks and face shields, wash your hands often, practice safe physical distancing, go out only for essential reasons, and get vaccinated as soon as possible to protect ourselves, our families, and the community. Together, we can beat COVID-19. Thank you for watching another episode of the PNA Newsroom. For more news content, check our webpage or log onto the Philippine News Agency's Facebook and Twitter accounts. For more stories about the government and how it serves Filipinos, look for these hashtags in all of our social media platforms and websites. We are shown on the pages of the PCOO and its attached agencies. Also watch us on television on PTV4 and IBC 13. And that's your daily dose of the biggest stories that you need to know. From the PNA Newsroom, we tell stories that inspire change. I am William Theo. Good day, everyone.